Taking control of one's thought has long been believed to be impossible. I'm here to tell you that it's absolutely possible to take control of your thoughts and take control of which thoughts conquer in your mind. And I'm going to give you a brief summary on how it works. Hello, my name is Ryan, and today I am drawing whatever I want and talking about whatever I want. That's basically the premise of my videos, and I hope you stick around to enjoy this conversation. Here I'm working on my comic, just doing some, shading really, and yeah, that's pretty much it. If you enjoy this video, please feel free to give me a like and a subscribe. I would appreciate the support while I try and grow this channel. Alright, so, bear with me. So, throughout every single day, we obviously have our thoughts. And whether you have a lot of thoughts or a few thoughts, majority of your thoughts are garbage. I'll tell you that straight. My thoughts sometimes are absolutely garbage, and most of them are preluding to bad habits. Often, everyone's does that. Everyone's brain attracts to hedonistic thoughts on something that would alleviate pressure or de-stress them in any sort of way, right? Because our thoughts aren't us. Our thoughts don't come from you or myself, the myself that I know. It's all subconscious activity. You aren't your thoughts. And if anyone is familiar with ego death, if you take those sort of drugs to give you ego death, I don't, but if you do, you would recognize that you are not your thoughts, but you are your feelings. That is the epitome of ego death. And your feelings are the true self of you. And what that means is that if you are in contact with your feelings more, you would be able to differentiate what you need versus what you don't need. So let's say, for example, you end up doing a bad habit of yours, and afterwards you sat there with your guilt, let's say, because, for example, you've overeaten. You've gone on a binging streak and you've overeaten, your stomach hurts and you can't move, and now you're stuck in guilt. And now most people, they usually recognize the thoughts that are sat there of self-hatred. But for some, they'd recognize the feeling more so of what their body actually feels, which is the truer and more, the better approach. Because when you are more in touch with your feelings, those thoughts that project off of the feeling basis are stronger. They hold a lot more tension in your head. When you recognize, I didn't feel good doing that, the next time you go to do that, it pings up in your mind, I didn't feel good afterwards doing that, so I'm not going to. But there's also a counter side to it. Because you feel such extreme emotion from that bad habit afterwards, there is an emotional anchor to it. And for some unknown reason, even if it is a bad emotion, the thoughts tied to it, the thoughts that lead into that bad habit, they are tied to that emotion. It's not emotional cueing, it's emotional chaining, it's emotional strengthening those thoughts. So how do you defeat those thoughts? Because we all get them. We all get those thoughts that we don't want to act upon, but because it's tied to such great emotion, because it's built up from I have a bee in here, Jesus. Hold on. Let me just... Let's take a hit. Now, because those thoughts are tied up to emotion, we're more likely to follow through with them and not challenge them. You've got to delete that emotional chain, remove it. So the way I do it is visualization, repeat in your head those events that happened, and keep repeating it in your head until you don't quite feel the emotion you had on that first repeat of it. So say this is a healing process, basically. Say you've had a traumatic event in your life and it causes you to feel really horrible about it. Obviously, I could give examples, but there's one example I have, which is probably the worst thing that could happen to people. So I'll leave it at that. But obviously, the emotional ties that you have towards that lead you to feel some horrid way. And how you alleviate that emotional stress is by repeating it. Not physically, absolutely not physically, but in your head or in words or in writing. Write it down. Read it over and over and over and over again. And you will stop feeling emotion and start learning from it. All right? That is the point of it. You're deleting the emotion, but you're also learning from your lesson. And when you learn from your lesson, it's not that it imparts some wisdom onto you because you've deleted emotion onto you. No, there's still a whole job you've got to do, right? You've got to inspect it. Because you, let's say, written it out, you can inspect that scene of events or that emotion or what happened or pretty much all of it and gain some insight on how to beat it, right? It's knowing your enemy more than you know your friends type of thought here, where you come to understand all the weaknesses of your enemies, which in this term, obviously, your enemy is your thought that leads to your bad habit or to that bad feeling. And you understand, where should I attack? Where is it at its weakest and where should I attack? And I mean, I know this already, okay, on where exactly thoughts that lead to bad feelings, bad habits, bad tempers, bad anything, bad thoughts. So think of it like a rolling landslide. So look at the tip of my pen, and you've got a landslide like this, and the emotion is a ball on this landslide, and there's intervals in time on that landslide. It begins with thought, ends with emotion. You've got a few things in between, like obviously acting upon thought, and then mid-journey, and then nearly finishing, and you're finally getting those negative thoughts, and then you full swing into that kablam of emotion, right? When, obviously, let's do it normally. The ball's rolling, okay? It's fine here. It's because it's flat ground. It starts rolling downwards, gains velocity. It's got a lot of mass, at this point, because you do carry a lot of motions. It's got a lot of mass, so it's getting heavy. The weight of it's fucking building up a lot of speed. Bam, crashed down into that emotion. You cannot stop it here. This part is where most people recognize their actions and try to stop it. But you're not going to stop once you're at the fridge. You're going to find something. You're going to bargain, and that bargain is not going to be enough because the ball's rolling already. Right? So you don't let the ball roll. That's what I'm saying. Delete that emotional charge, and that thought won't be as powerful. It won't be as overriding towards everything that you've got going on. And then, because it's a thought that's so weak now, you can stop it. Thought comes in your head, I wanna smoke, I wanna eat, I wanna be lazy all day, I wanna game, I wanna, you know, anything. I wanna burn through loads of fuel driving my car for hours on time. I wanna gamble. Those don't have any emotional weight anymore, and you recognize the negativity of that thought. You know how weak that thought is, and you just simply go, no. Because here's the funny thing. I said our thoughts are from our subconscious. And let me tell you one thing. The gatekeeper of those thoughts is in your conscious mind. Because what happens with our thoughts, they come out the subconscious, but they have to cross into your conscious to be acted upon. So know there's a gatekeeper in your subconscious, in that gate between your subconscious and conscious mind. And that gatekeeper is the one to say yes or no to thoughts. And the weaker you are, the weaker your gatekeeper is. The more emotion those thoughts can charge through with, the gatekeeper cannot stop them. So you delete the emotion, you strengthen your gatekeeper, you know your enemy, you know what's coming, you know how bad it is, so you can stay 100% prepared for what's going to happen. 100% prepared. So when he comes along, you don't even need to beat him out of the way. You just simply say, nah mate, you're not coming into this club. Simple. And now, thing is, the joke's here. The easiest part is once you've learned the skill and you're just going about your day. That's what makes that's the easiest part. The future gets easier. If you just put in some hard work right now to write down your bad habit and just read it over and over again, you know, this could even be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but you've got to do it every day. Here's the thing. Memory doesn't pick up information just because you thought it or you read it. It's repetition that ingrains it. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta do it every single day. Read this thing that you've written down every single day and think about it. Write notes down on it so you remember those notes on it. And kablam. You've won the game, because now you're gonna remember when the thought comes up in a week's time after you've stopped. It will still just be as easy to say no. But the longer you train to memorize this, the better. Because let's say you do this every day, 30 minutes, for 2 months straight, you're gonna get a year, like, easy, battling those thoughts. Just totally conquering them. But that's not needed, because it only takes 60 days to make or break a habit. 60 days, ladies and gentlemen. 60 days is all you need. And I promise to God that is as true as I could get it to be. I've tried finding out a lot of information about these things, and I promise to God this is the accumulation of my knowledge on this. So you've got to battle those thoughts, but you've got to play it so smart, because you can't just become a stronger gatekeeper and not delete the emotional impact, because they'll whack you way out of spec. You can't not train your gatekeeper and take the emotional the emotional weight of it, because even then there'll be nothing to stop it. Your brain is such a magnificent machine that there's so much that we don't understand. And we could still even be wrong on this theory here. But from what I gather, this is as close as it can be right now. So I say, no one really provides as much answer as I've just tried to do out there. Everyone misguides you somewhere along the way, or tries to promote some thing or app that will help you in this. All you need to do this method is just mindfulness, pen and paper, and time and dedication. You ain't needing to pay any service. You've got just pen and paper and qualities that make you better. All right? And if you need to remember what I've just said, please rewatch my video, because I swear to God, this will help you so much. Even if you're someone who's successful already, why can't you be even more successful? Brother, if you delete those negative thoughts, make those thoughts weaker, your positive thoughts will get stronger. And if you keep this chain of positive thoughts here, right? Hold on. If you keep this chain of positive thoughts coming through and put emotion into those positive thoughts, because they're starting to really help you and you're making yourself really proud right now, keep that streak going. Those positive thoughts get better and they help you even more, because your brain's now addicted and wired to positivity. Or I mean positivity as in like thoughts that help you be successful, thoughts that benefit you, not just happy thoughts, because happy's an emotion to me. It's not a thought. Happy's a feeling. So good thoughts are ones that benefit you in this world. So put it as that, like, you will grow and develop more if you control your thoughts. Simple, easy, achievable, very achievable. Because you want to waste 10 years of your life dawdling with your bad habits, or do you want to get rid of them and then, get shit done in 2 years, maybe? I say go for it. I say go for it. Absolutely go for it. Be the best person you can be. Because who doesn't want to be remembered? In my previous video, I spoke about the meaning of life. And there's a little insy-binsy part of legacy. But I do agree that we all want our legacy to be remembered. And we all want to be the greatest in something. So, yeah. That's pretty cool, huh? If you've enjoyed this video, please, I beg to God, give me a like and subscribe. I absolutely want to get this steam train of a channel going, because the more I notice that people enjoy this content, the greater I'll feel about this, the more I'll do it, the more I'll post, the more I'll speak on, the more help I'll give you. Because, yeah, in reality, I love this stuff. This is my greatest hobby, just finding information out and drawing. So I love this stuff. Obviously, I like my gym, but I like keeping that private at the moment because, well, the gym I go to isn't really a recording gym, it's just a training gym. So, do you know what I mean? I'm not really in the YouTube gym space, but I'm pretty fucking jacked, so, like, I could easily be. So, yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really, really, really hope you have enjoyed. And yeah, have a lovely day. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.